Alright, welcome back, people. Happy Tuesday, everyone. How have you been? And here we are with day number 10 of leisure gameplay of Diablo 2 MedianXl Nightmare difficulty. Yes, it will be day number 10 because last time we only progressed a bit throughout it, so I decided not to change the title pretty much. So, pretty much, let us see. Now that we are ready to begin. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Let me see. I need to see the stream. Hope everyone had a great weekend. And as for my weekend, there was a network error. No, but I need to see my own stream. I need to see it running. That is working properly. During the weekend, for those of you who don't know, I like doing reversed engineered servers, and during the weekend I could do an archage there, right there. So good. Sadly, I cannot show them on stream, but absolutely amazing. So good. Yo, how's it going, Patrick? How's it going? Glad to see ya. Hope the reply over at Discord was satisfactory. Please, people, I need to see my own stream. I need to see it running. There was a network error. Please try again later. I cannot see my own image. My own stream. There we go. It always takes some try doing that. Perfect. Working perfectly. Nice. Here we go. You rewatched my previous build 2 times. The one, the last one was of Star Wars: The Old Republic when I was doing the yeah, on Thursday I did the which one was it? The yeah, with Pillow. It was it was an Onslaught era. It was like in the Emperor, after the Emperor boss fight there again, it was like after Jedi Under Siege. Yeah, pretty much. But you were there. Maybe when you left that I started chatting with Pillow. Pretty much on Thursday, it was. Then on Tuesday, I chatted with Ambra when you left instead. Pretty much. So good, people. As for Diablo 2 MedianXl, we are in the Crystalline Passage, as you can see here. We need to get to the Frigid Highlands. I know, but I did find the soldiers there. Why isn't that quest complete? Why isn't that one complete? Ah, well, let me see, because I did get over there. Well, remember, people, that we don't have a teleport, so we can get killed as easy as that. How was your weekend, boss? Very well. I did an arcade reverse engineered server after I finished studying. I'm studying, Patrick, as you know. The fates and the lives of several skyscrapers depend on yours truly. In the future, I'm studying. I could do 2 units of the course that I'm doing for condo management, pretty much to inherit my family's burden, let's say. Basically, things like running the several several condos, apartment condos, depend on us. So basically, I am starting to inherit it from my mother, basically. So yeah, pretty much. So in that sense, yes, I'm studying. I hope that it's finally the last thing that I have to study in my life, because it's been enough. 30 years of continuous. I hope it's the last one, once and for all. So, so yeah, pretty much. And for the rest, after that, on Sunday by the end, I did an arcade offline server. You know that I like playing MMORPGs offline. People, yes. I like the targeting combat without no one, with no one around. Pretty much. Um, as I feel it is finally mine. I'm finally in possession of the MMORPG. So basically, because of that, and I could finally manage to do an arcade offline reverse engineer server. Okay, I finally found a pretty good tutorial. I finally found a pretty good tutorial for that one, because when the game is a bit more unknown, you kind of have a hard time finding a good tutorial explicit about what you have to do to reverse engineer them. Sadly, I cannot show them, otherwise I would be playing those all day here. But sadly, you cannot stream those here at Twitch. Pretty much, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. So, pretty much, the idea is that you need to find a good tutorial, and I finally found one very good tutorial that explained every step, and I could follow it. Even so, there was a one step of the process that I didn't that it wasn't in the video, and I had to figure out on my own. But still, better than what I had before when I tried to do that one. So good. So far I've done World of Warcraft, of course, Lineage 2, Black Desert Online, Ion, Terra, and now Arcade. So good. I am preserving the targeting MMO combat system very well. Well, right now I'm in the exact opposite, because I got back into playing Dragonsang Online, and you got back into your old clan. I had some guy instantly message me, showed love. It was truly heartwarming. Ah, that's amazing. That's amazing. No, I do have that in Star Wars: The Old Republic. Pretty much, I have that. When I want my online MMORPG experience, I have that one. Pretty much. But wood. Good, Patrick. That's very good. That's very good. That's very good. And with Rank Online, what happened? You said that you were going to play Rank Online instead, which was by one of your guild master, I think it was something like that. What happened to Rank Online then? It died. It all died. So you went back to Dragonsang Online. Nice. That's good. That's good. The game had its fair share of content. Had a lot of content. Not bad. I will still suggest you to try different games to get variety, even if you keep that one as your main. Ah yes, you will be busy with the university, then it's good to just play the one that you are familiar with. Well, Rank Online is a better game than Dragonsang Online. Much more intense, hard, challenging, but only one guy develops it, so we need to wait months for a single title update. Okay. I see. Okay. Well, it was good that you found that you once again met your old clan friends. That's absolutely amazing when it happens. In my case, since I returned to Star Wars: Your Republic 10 years later, in March of last year, there was not one. There was not one, and I had to make new friends. But well, I fortunately did, and much better than any previous situation before. So good, 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 good. Hey, that's always good, people. That's why I always say that video games are amazing. They connect us. They connect our solitary souls. In that sense. But no, I've always had a tendency to like single player ones much more. I like a good challenge. Like all for my own, but the real problem is, you know what, people, is that I feel with an online game, first of all, that it should be illegal. I feel that I'm not owning the game. I feel I'm not owning the game. I'm actually renting the usage of the server. And I really don't like that. I like owning the games. I like owning the games. So I really don't like that model in that sense. So yeah, I'd rather mod it offline. You actually don't own it, you are renting the license. Instead, when you reverse engineer the MMORPG, oh well, it's like yours forever. Well, Drakensang Online is free, fortunately. Yeah, I know. I know, Star Wars: Your Republic is the same. It's just that it's a bit more restrictive regarding. But in my case, my account is so old that I have a lot of benefits. Like it's as if it was it's as if I were a subscriber, except for some things. But yeah, in that sense. Oh, yeah, but no, it's not a matter of that. It's a matter of that I don't feel like I have ownership over the files of the game, and I like having ownership over the files of the game, basically. I think it's not fair renting a license, because at the end of the day, whether the business model is paid or free, you are still renting the license, technically. Instead, if the MMORPG is reverse engineered or the game is offline, you like store the files in your PC, and that's pretty much it. You own them, you can move them from one hard drive to another, you can do with them whatever you want. Here we go. You made progress in a quest. I did? You don't say. Here, you are free. But I did this last time. Rescue 10 more soldiers in the frigid highlands. Ah, the other ones. Ah, right, I did this one, but not the other one last time. True. Then, if you don't do things correctly, you have to do them again. So let's do it again. Then we will proceed to the crystalline cave, as we were progressing last time. Damn, I truly need a teleport. The other day I was told by some veteran Diablo 2 MedianXl players that I'm actually playing a slightly outdated version of it. I'm playing a slightly outdated version of a mob, and in more modern versions you get a teleport right at the beginning of the game. So I'm playing a harder version of it. I'm actually playing a harder version of it. Rescue 6 more soldiers in the frigid highlands. What? This has to be a joke. I'm running out of ideas. They are clearly the white squares where you can find them. 6 more in the frigid highlands. Oh, well. Debate time! Fire! Shoot, Patrick, no problem. Should you debate? Shoot the debate. Hang on, people, I will just try to skip here, at least to pinpoint where there they are. This map is huge, huh? This map is fucking huge. Okay, we are a bit trapped here. Shit, no. I better open a portal in case I get killed, which might happen at any second now. Just in case, so I can return here, where I can find them. What the? They are shooting fire from on top of the creature. Damn it, that is brutal. The debate time. You love the debates, Patrick. You love the debates. Yeah, I know you love the debates. I know you like the debates. Shoot. First of all, the reply over at Discord through DM was satisfactory. Regarding my school's system. It's the opposite of what Pillow described as his school system last time. That they took the institution as they vandalized the no smoke posters on the wall. You were gonna do that in my school? Yeah, right now. I think I saw that. Ah, right, I didn't explore this part of the map. Still. Oh, shit. Shit. Without a teleport, this is gonna be a problem. Let's stay out of range. That fire deals a lot of damage. There we go. We cleanse the area. Alright, I didn't explore the northern section here. Give me some space here. I need some room to get rid of them. So you rewatched the vote of Star Wars: Your Republic of Thursday on Thursday twice? Patrick, I feel honored. I feel honored because you were there right by the end. The last part is the one. There was a topic. Hang on, here I see it. There was a topic in philosophy. When you write a science in English, remember always in capital letters. And philosophy is a science. It's like history or biology or geography. I know that in most of our languages it doesn't, but in English there was a topic in philosophy I never really understood completely, even though I read it 2 times. Not my favorite, maybe that's why. Oh, interesting. Which one would it be? By the way, as I was mentioning, epistemology. Okay. The name, somehow I remember it. I don't know what it was. It was like if I remember correctly, it was like the evidence. Like the evidence of when an object moved in metaphysical space, quite similar to what I told you with the box, if I'm not mistaken. That you putting the cell phone inside of a box and it moving in time and space. It was that one. Like the I remember reading the epistemic evidence or something like that back then, and it was pretty much that. It is related to what you asked me over at Discord. Maybe it has a relationship with that. Because if I remember correctly, it was that. I don't remember. It's been so many years. It's been like 10 years since I read about that. But if I remember correctly, is that. that, for example, imagine I have this stylus, this Nintendo DS stylus, or this pen, let's just say, and I have it like here, and it's at a specific place in time and space. But I do this, and it's at a different one. I do this, and it's at a different one. I'm moving the object in time and space. And basically, the epistemic evidence is that I can see it moving in time and space. It would be quite similar to what you asked over at Discord. If I'm not mistaken, it was like that. And I can verify it. I can verify the movement of molecules and particles from one point to another in time and space. I think it was that. At least in metaphysical philosophy. I don't know in general one how it would be applied. Pretty much. In that sense. But yeah. One thing's for sure, it's crucial for metaphysics. Well, let's finally free them once and for all. There we go, you're free. Are we done? Return to Qualcomm for your reward. Perfect, we're done. Let us go back to town. Portal to nearest town. Done. There is 4 causes. Ah, yeah, from Aristotle. The efficient cause, the material cause, the formal cause, the finite cause, or the purpose. And I never understood why it's important to know the causes. There are causes. Well, yes, that is important.
Thank you for rescuing me.
Because things can be in potency or in fact. That part you must have read it.
If you wish, you may hire some of my mercenaries that you saved. And please.
For example,
Runes. I had been saving them for a socketed shield, but I think you will
it is essential to understand the difference between
set them in the right order for their fullest effect.
and resurrect my mercenary. Thank you. It is essential to understand the difference between an act being in potency, in being potentially in progression towards a completion, or it being a fact. Okay? Or it being a fact in that sense. Hmm? Pick an item to add sockets, I don't know. This one? This one? Choose whatever, anyways, serves no purpose, I think. Choose an item to which you wish to add sockets, but what? Now I get to the quest. Well, whatever. Fuck this shit. I have to progress through the quest. Crystalline passage. Let's keep going, people. Alright, so this is where we left last time. So, Aristotle mentions that there are the 4 causes of being pretty much material, formal, finite cause, and I never understood. Okay, well, basically. Let us begin with the material and the formal. Okay. So, there's matter in the universe. This is going to be brutal. So, there's matter in the universe, okay? So, imagine Aristotle in ancient Greece. Poor guy, alone. He didn't have everything that he had discovered on his own afterwards. But he could perceive that there's matter. He didn't call it particles. He didn't have such advanced knowledge of metaphysics. He saw that there was matter in the universe. He didn't call it matter, but that there was matter in the universe. Okay. But matter on its own has no shape. That's where the second one enters into play. It needs to take a form, basically, and the different forms are the specific shapes, let's say, that all metaphysical entities take. He used it to basically identify how every single human being was different from each other. I know that these things seem basic nowadays, but they were complex back then to deduce. So there was matter, and it took a form. Now, that's not enough. That's not enough. Basically, after taking form, the matter can then be in two more states that you are pretty much mentioning. I'm just using my memory, but I think it was like this. Once the matter takes the form of a human being, then the other two come into play. The efficient one and the final cause, the purpose, basically. The matter that has taken form can be in two more states, in potency or in act. Okay? So, after taking form, the matter, he didn't call it matter, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter precisely that he didn't know about matter and particles like we have nowadays. He basically interpreted it as he could. It can be in potency or in act. Like, if it's in potency, it's in the process of becoming something. And if it's in fact, if it's in its final cause, it has reached the act. The act and the fact that it has already accomplished it. For example, you are about to enter university and start studying. You will be a teacher in potency, potentially a teacher, let's say. You are going to potentially be a teacher, but you are not. Okay, when I was studying law, I was potentially a lawyer. I wasn't. Once I got the degree, I became a lawyer in fact, not potentially. So, because of that, the matter that takes form, then it starts seeking a purpose, all matter in general, not only human beings, seeking a purpose, and they are first in a state of potentially reaching such purpose. Okay, so you're going to be a student and a teacher potentially. Once you get the degree, you will be in fact, and you would have reached the purpose of the form that matter has taken. Basically would be like that. I would need to read it again, but the basic idea was that. Which was the part that you didn't understand? That it was basically like this. Imagine that we are all things in potential. For example, we are all males. All males are fathers potentially. Okay? In potency. All females are mothers potentially. In potency. Okay? That's why a man cannot be a mother potentially. In that sense, with that one you are not going to forget the example. With that one you are not going to forget the example. That is always important, people. See, when you have students or anything in life, when you want to explain something to anyone, the important part is saying something that they are not going to forget. That's why all males, we are all fathers in potency, and women, mothers in potency, potentially. A male cannot be a mother potentially. It is impossible. Why? Because the form of the matter, in its efficient cause, the one that is seeking the purpose. I don't remember the names. Besides, I studied in Spanish, so they are all changed. But uh, when it's the cause that when it's seeking purpose, it can never seek a purpose that the matter has not taken the appropriate form for. In that sense, you cannot ask an apple to be a parent, in that sense, to be a father or a mother. And the same way happens, and the same thing happens this way. Okay, so it's like that. I'm not spending any more money reviving the comp because it's a stupid. They need to fix this shit. They need to make sure the comp doesn't take any more damage because it's a stupid system. It has always been broken in Diablo 2. The comp system in which it dies in 2 seconds. It's absolutely terrible. Okay, so it's like that. It's basically that. The matter itself, the 4 causes. It's the matter itself, the form, the shape it takes, the purpose it aspires to fulfill in the progress of reaching it, and then once it's reached. Yeah? In that sense. I think it was like that, just using my memory. Maybe I have a bit fuzzy the efficient one of when it's searching the purpose. I think there's another component to it that is like I don't know. It's like that is internal to the metaphysical entity rather than external to it. And I think the purpose ends up being external, while the efficient one, the progress of being in potency, it's internal or something like that. It's something along those lines, but that's basically the idea. It's what I can tell you. 10 years of distance when I studied it. If I read the text, I will connect it back in my head regarding the details. But pretty much it's like this. Those are basically the 4 causes. That's how Aristotle explained the universe, basically. When he didn't have any advanced methods for explaining particles and etc. In that sense, it's what he could come up with to explain reality. How everything around him came to exist, basically. More or less, that's the idea that you need to keep in your mind. Keep on your mind, sorry. That's basically the idea. That is how he tried to explain the universe. It's basically his metaphysics. It's a metaphysical part of Aristotle, basically. How he tried to explain. He didn't use the word metaphysical entities because that's more of the medieval age of Thomas Aquinas, who recovered the texts of Aristotle. But basically that. Is how he tried to explain the universe simply. What was the part that you didn't understand? What was the purpose of the 4 causes? It shouldn't be difficult to understand. It's like how he tried to explain matter and reality, basically. Nowadays we could say it's rudimentary. It's a rudimentary explanation. Well, it's still more accurate than what we have nowadays, of course, in that sense. It's much more defined than the shit that we have nowadays. Yes, nowadays we can talk about molecules and particles, and etc. And then we have people thinking that they can override reality with their thoughts. So, what's the usage of knowing so much about the universe if we are going to have a stupid population? So I would argue, if we are actually better, fortunately there's a portion of the population who isn't stupid, but pretty much, I mean, stupid. Having a perception of metaphysical reality that is far away from describing it, so far away that you wonder how they can think that. But pretty much that's the idea. In that sense. Pretty much that's the idea. Have we made progress? Yes, in the observation of the universe. We can say now that we understand that there are particles. Yeah, the purpose. Well, pretty much that. Is the purpose. In that sense. Is the purpose of the it's like that. You need to remember this line of reasoning, Patrick. There's matter. He didn't know that they were particles. He just said materia. What you are made of. For example, he would say flesh. He wouldn't get us to metaphysical particles and subatomic particles. Aristotle didn't. He did enough on his own with all of that. He did more than enough. He pretty much invented metaphysics in that sense. For example, flesh, human flesh. Human flesh takes the form. For example, or the soul. We could say the soul. It wasn't the soul, but pretty much that. The spirit, he would say. The soul is more of medieval age Christianity and Thomas Aquinas. The spirit takes the shape of human flesh, the form, the matter, the material, or for he thought the spirit took the shape of human. The shape of having flesh gives you purposes, and you accomplish them with the purpose until you stop being potentially something, the matter, let's say, that took a form, the spirit that took the form of human flesh. Search for purpose, until it stops being potentially something and ends up being something in facts. That's basically the process. Think of it like that. You're going to study to university. At university, you are a student. You are a professor as well, potentially. In potency. I studied as a lawyer. I was a lawyer in potency. When I got the degree, I was a lawyer in facts. This is also important. To establish your society, because this will sound stupid, but it could happen that someone idiotic could say, oh well, but but I am, imagine in ancient Greece. Oh well, I imagine someone said this. I don't have children, but I think I am a parent. See why it is important? Because it touches a part of relativism that happens in our modern age. It's pathetic that someone who lived more than 2,000 years ago could understand this, and we have people nowadays who are unable to understand this. Yes, it is reality, people. So yes, pretty much it's like that. Someone could say, oh, I cannot have children, but I can be a parent. Oh, now all of a sudden, the old Aristotle doesn't sound so outdated now. People, someone could say, "Oh, I cannot have children, but I can be a parent because I have a machine that unites an ovule with sperm in a lab and creates a child, and I just adopt it in that sense." See how interesting it is. Uh, well, biologically, the person is not the parent. If the sperm wasn't his, and the ovule, pretty much. No, objectively, it's not the parent. That's why even today, even people who do these things need to address that they are not the biological parent. They are the adoptive parent. See? How interesting it is at the end of the day. Why? Because in potency, potentially, because potentially, well, you can adopt any child. In that sense, you cannot say you are the biological parent, because the fact is not equal to the purpose and its search and being a metaphysical entity in potency than in fact. That's the difference. That's why, if you think about it, it seems so stupid. But even nowadays, we have people who don't understand this simple fact. So, I will leave to your interpretation how sad it is for modern society that they can say, "Ah, no, I cannot have children, but I can be a female." No, because the matter took a different shape, and the shape gave a purpose that is different than being a mother, because you cannot get pregnant. See that even Aristotle could understand these things, but nowadays we have people who want to go against these basic observations of it. For example, imagine that I asked my poor stylus pen to become a car. Could it do it? No, The shape, Patrick, that this combination of molecules and particles took was to be a stylus pen for the screen of my Nintendo DS or my 3DS. That's why when a nihilist says, like what they told you over at the nihilistic Discord when you join, that you can mount a cow and use it as a couch or a sofa, makes no fucking sense. That's why, because the matter took a specific shape and the shape serves a specific purpose. I cannot change the potency, the purpose, the potential purpose of the form that matter took in that sense. Can I grab a book and use it as a weapon to kill someone if I hit the person in the head? Yes, you can do that. You can mount a cow and use it as a sofa, but it doesn't change the fact that the ultimate cause, the purpose of the metaphysical entity was to be a cow, was for the book to be read. You can do those things, but they will eventually not match reality, because the second you kill someone with a book by hitting him with a book on the head, then you realize that then the book has pages to read. It's inevitable. You're giving me flashbacks with this one. See, yes, because it's the same. It's the same. I can say that I'm going to grab a poor cow, sit on top of the poor cow all fucking day. Eventually the cow will die if you do that. If you stay on top of the cow all day, it's going to die. And then you won't, and the flesh will decompose, and you won't be able to keep using it as a sofa. The poor cow. This is the same. Or you die, well, or the cow attacks you, or no, better yet, or the cow, after the cow uses you as a rest place. Yes, yes indeed. Or better, Patrick. Or the cow's husband, Mr. Ball, the cow's husband, Mr. Ball, comes and simply perforates your fucking body with one of its horns because you are abusing the poor Ball's wife. Actually, let's put it in childish terms, so even the most brutish of individuals can understand it. Mr. Ball, who is the husband, of Mrs. Cow, will come and perforate your body with one of its huge, sharp horns because you are abusing his wife in that sense. You understand? Because you are bothering Mrs. Cow. See why a cow cannot be a sofa even if you can sit on top of it. How many probabilities we are thinking about that could go wrong because the shape of the matter took a different form than a sofa. And you cannot simply overwrite those things. You cannot overwrite them, the purpose of the shape that matter has taken in that sense. And then once you realize that this cannot happen and you find a real sofa, you understand that a real sofa is not a sofa in potency, potentially, like you are trying to use the cow. It's in facts, the matter, the shape of the matter has correctly taken the form to fulfill that purpose, and it was fulfilled in facts, not in potency, in trying to. Because reality always catches you, just like the depression inside the honest people. Indeed. Because the objective arrangement of molecules and particles simply does not give a flying fuck a damn. It doesn't give a damn what you have in your mind. It cares about how molecules and particles arrange themselves. You can think whatever stupid thing you'd like, whatever stupid thing you'd like, and it's not reality. It's in potency, potentially, thinking. You are thinking something, but it only turns into a fact. There we go, rescue Anya. It only turns into a fact once the potential purpose is fulfilled. Sitting on poor Mrs. Cow does not fulfill it. It only temporarily tricks you into thinking you can overwrite the objective arrangement of molecules and particles, and you really can't. That's why a man is a man, a woman is a woman, objectively, not depending on what we think. Pretty much.
Hero, Neelathak did this to me. If you've come to help me, my only hope lies with Mala. Please, tell her you've found me.
Oh, she's frozen. Let me open a portal.
So, that snake Neelathak was behind Anya's disappearance, and he trapped her with a freezing curse. Here, take this potion to Anya and give it to her. That should release her.
Nicely done. We are almost there, people. There we go. What now? Talk to Mala for your reward. Here we go.
Thank you so much for bringing Anya back to us. I have devised this spell to increase your resistances as a token of my thanks.
Oh, see what we were about to miss.
But I hope you find it helpful. Please, go talk to Anya. She has urgent news concerning Neelathak.
Okay.
Good morning. You have proven yourself a true hero to me and my people.
Okay, let's proceed to the next area, people.
I hope you can bring an end to Bale's reign of destruction.
Yes, we're almost done. I bet we are going to finish today.
The one thing that keeps us from total despair is the promise of vengeance against Bale. Thank you, hero, for rescuing me. To show my personal gratitude, I give you this. I had it custom made for you by Larzik.
Good.
Neelathak told me he struck a deal with Bale to protect Taragath. In exchange for the demon's mercy, the misguided fool plans to give Bale the relic of the ancients, our most holy totem. Doing so will allow Bale to enter Mount Arreat unchallenged by the ancients. I tried to stop Neelathak, but he imprisoned me in that icy tomb. Neelathak must be stopped before he dooms the whole world. As much as I would love to strangle the life out of him, I'm afraid I haven't the strength. You must go to his lair through this portal I've opened, kill him, and then bring back the relic of the ancients. Stop Neelathak from destroying what we have striven for eons to protect.
Okay. The portal you've opened? Ah, this one. Okay, so only one way to go. I need to go through here. To Neelathak's temple. Okay, good.
Could this be a trap?
Yeah, no wonder it's a trap. What do you think? Which are the most cardinal virtues in modern society? Hang on, you mean the ones that we actually have? That we have retained? Or the ones that we should have as a society? The ones that we have? Or the ones that we should have as modern society? Should have. Okay, in an ideal scenario. Yeah, well, there I will agree a lot with Thomas Aquinas. I believe the most forgotten one nowadays is the one is temperance. I would say. I would say the one that we are lacking the most nowadays is temperance. In that sense, it's definitely temperance. Like the ability to keep ourselves under control in the face of frustration. In that sense, yes, I would say it's temperance first. And as for the rest, I think our modern society, the one that you mentioned the other day with the phrase, I think there's a severe misunderstanding of passions. In that sense, this is not more. If you want a formal cardinal virtue, I would say temperance. If you want a more broad description, I would say that which you said. The phrase that you said the other day that was amazing. That the perfection of virtue is the regulation of passions, not their extinction. People either extinguish them, Nordic style, you can look to Norse paganism in that sense, places like Norway, Sweden, the Scandinavian countries. Either they completely extinguish them, or try to. It's never possible, they try to. That's seen as a positive. Or the opposite. We have societies, like in Southern Europe. I must admit that in that sense, it's our problem. That are, on the contrary, have no control whatsoever over emotions. So reaching the perfect middle is a different journey depending on where you are born. If you are born in Northern Europe, your journey will be to admit that you have the emotions. Okay? While in Southern Europe, it will be to control them. So when you reach that when both reach that perfect, it's quite difficult. Most people don't do it. You can finally find, like Revan would say, balance in the force. No, you can find the balance between Roman, between the Roman doctrine, basically the inherited Roman consciousness, and the Norse pagan consciousness. When you take the virtues of each of them, I think they make a perfect balance. I'm in the exact middle of Europe. I have to control my non-existent feelings. Kappa. No. You decidedly are. It doesn't matter where geographically you are, because then the people in Switzerland would be perfect. No, on Austria wouldn't need to do this journey, and everyone has to do this journey. No matter where you are born, even if you are, you will have to find out in a very internal and introspective journey which of the two poles is more is more you were culturally magnetically attached more to, naturally. No, I would say you are decidedly more southern. Europe, like the Romans, like we have to. I would say you have to do the same journey that in our case of Italians and Spaniards and Portuguese. No, decidedly, because you with the Sandstone of the Twin Seas to add a bonus 10% to elemental resistances. Okay. But for now, I don't have that. No, 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 Patrick. You are decidedly. You decidedly have to go to to emotion control. You already have the emotions. You already have the emotions with the gorillas and everything. You not only admit there, you don't need to admit any existence. You already admit it. I'm talking about the northern pole of this personality is people who I can tell you that for example, in Sweden, in Norway, in Finland, people who need to do an introspection to look at their feelings. It's much deeper. Okay, so it's not that. It's difficult to understand. This is the history of subconsciousness of Europe. So it's very difficult to understand when you are in the opposite pole. So if that was difficult to understand for you, that you wouldn't stay like that. Asking yourself, asking yourself how to express internal thoughts constantly. No, you're decidedly influenced by the Roman pole of it. The idea is that it's a different journey depending on which pole you are on. Also, the fact of your personality influences it. For example, uh, for example, in my case, in my case, I was I was born in the heart, in the heart of a country that was Roman Catholic and absolutely um, inheriting with 60% Italian population. Basically, myself being Italian as well. But depending on different things, on the psychology of the individual, it can also happen that you are born in a southern country and you are brutally introverted, or you are born in northern Europe and you are extroverted. So because of that, the journey is different for each other, for each one. But the idea is to find balance. If I said on average it generally matches. Generally matches. I identify as realist, as realistic. Okay. No. I know. The second you were exposed to realism, you reached, you walked the path towards a perfect balance. In that sense, I know. But it has to do with the culture, Patrick. Imagine that in Sweden or Norway or etc. There are people who don't talk all day, who are like all introverted to a point that don't we just don't interpret easily. It's without a doubt. It's not positive or negative. It's simply the influence of, in that case, Norse paganism instead of Roman Catholicism. In that sense, both of them, as I told you, for those of us, generally, on average, I will add, on average, those of us born in the south of Europe we are expressive and we need to find a bit of balance, trying to control those emotions a bit, not deny their existence. That's the key, as you mentioned, as in that phrase from Thomas Aquinas. Not deny the existence, but keep them a bit more under control. Just a bit more under control. And on average, there are people who naturally have it easier, others have it more difficult. It's a journey of these two opposite poles. This is the true yin and yang. Instead of watching shitty Eastern yin yang and all of those sheets about Eastern countries, people should value the cultural details of our beloved Europe a bit more. You see what's the problem? You've heard a lot of people talk about yin and yang and the East and China and Japan and etc. And no one gives a damn about this, which is much more fascinating and it's reality. It's not the goddess of sun creating any country like in Eastern countries. You see the problem? The problem is that people in Europe have been told to not value this rich mix of culture. I got out from depression, I met with you. I overcame anxiety. Because I thought I'm the problem in school. I'm a student of Thomas Aquinas and Aristotle. This is my way of payback. Very well said. Very well said. It is a great There's no better payback than living a good life. There's no better payback at the system than living a good life. Indeed. Well, because you found that balance, because you were lacking one of the poles. Only you can answer in your specific case completely which of the poles you lacked. But we all lacked one pole. Maybe you needed a bit of. I would say that you needed a bit of the Norse pagan pole, because you can see. You told me about the bullies in school and everything, and that causes a lot of emotions. And you can see that I debate, not without emotions, as I insult Obama and etc. But I don't insult anyone who joins the chat, for example. I insult people only who do really bad things, according to my perception, pretty much. That I can back with, of course, empirical evidence. Objective empirical evidence. But still, you can see that there's a balance. But on the other hand, I don't tell you, like Stoicism, I feel nothing, Patrick. I feel absolutely nothing. That is the problem that generally happens to people in those countries, that they cannot feel internally. I'm not talking about verbalizing it because being shy. No, it's a step back. It's not being able to feel. They need to admit that they feel. Okay? Okay? That's the problem. Those are the two opposite poles that we all need to find balance in that sense in Europe. And once that happens, it's fascinating because one achieves a balance that really other cultures cannot provide. They just cannot provide it. You can watch any Japanese anime, and you can distinctively tell that all of the characters are either one or the other extreme. Think about Naruto and Sasuke, people. if you are this is a bit childish to say, but it's like that. Think about Kaiba and Yugi. Think about Goku and Vegeta. It's just they cannot conceive a society. They cannot think of a society with a balance between the two poles. They need to represent pole A and represent pole B. Okay? Imagine the drug dealer classmate of mine said to me, taking drugs every day is now childish, bro. No, no. The candy seller said taking candy every day is now childish, bro. Ah, that's a miracle. what, what is non-childish now? Taking weed. What? It's childish now. He made progress. I can't believe it. Or did he go for the worse, Patrick? Is it because he already killed someone? It's childish. The candy dealer classmate said taking the candy every day is now childish. Is now childish. Okay, because he because he transcended. Yeah, because he wants kids in the future. He knows with this lifestyle he can. I know, but this is a fucking miracle. This is a fucking miracle, Patrick. You civilized the gorilla. You civilized the gorilla. I have to congratulate you if you were the one responsible for civilizing the gorilla with my teachings. Is it true? You civilized the gorilla with my teachings. No, now I feel amazing in this world. Was it because of you civilizing him, or was it on his own that he did the journey towards a balanced stance? So to wrap up the concept, people, you can see that in Eastern societies, since this balance cannot be achieved, the two poles need to be represented independently and separately. Okay? Naruto and Sasuke, Vegeta and Goku, Kaiba and Yugi, and that reflects society. That reflects fucking society. As recognizing the impossibility of reaching that balance. In Europe, and European-derived countries like Argentina or the US, in Europe, we don't need this. Because, fortunately, we related with each other constantly for 2000 years with several origins of culture. So, the Roman passion can be tempered by the Norse paganism, and the Norse paganism can be tempered by the Roman passion. So we can reach a balance. We have the ability to reach a fascinating balance that Eastern cultures just can't. They are extremist, okay? So see how interesting it is, how fascinating it is when a person reaches it, because it can take the positive aspects of both of them. Besides it also involves the religious part that now we can get into it in that sense. So we don't need to hit one of the two extremes. This is very difficult for people now, even nowadays. But we have a fascinating opportunity as Europeans to reach a perfect balance between those two poles. And it's sad for me seeing how people don't value this. Yeah, no. Then I feel very good about myself then. Yeah, we talked a lot about the candy. I explained him in the most no, in the most silly way what you said and what I perceive, and my father also, because I talked about the candy addiction with him. Okay, and don't tell me that I created a better society, because if it's more than one, if it's more than you alone here talking to me, Patrick, I feel very good about myself. The candy dealer changed the course. Well, that's a miracle. We always have to. I have to first congratulate you, Patrick, for standing in the way of relativism. I have to congratulate you. I bet it feels amazing. You just felt how it is to be a successful parent. Good. Also helps you for your life. Everyone is benefited. Okay, so you talked to him and he changed course. That's a miracle. With you had to act as a translator between all my knowledge and him comprehending it. That takes a lot of temperance, indeed. So I congratulate you. Now, you made me quite happy today. You made me quite happy today. Besides, you could verify that theory has a correlation with practice. I will boast. I will boast about this with Pillow next time he shows up. that he said that we monarchists are extinct. And what was it? The one that you said that was also quite funny was, Eraser, you are the last Padawan of realism. Well, looks like now I have a Jedi Academy. Well, no, good, 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 good to see. Oh, I hope he changed in the Candid situation, but I'm pretty sure we can change him about studying. That man somehow failed in math this semester. Oh no, well, no, Patrick. If he could change, if he changed the Candid situation, you did say that he said is childish now, bro. Because he wants kids in the future. Well, if he understands that he wants kids in the future and knows that with his lifestyle he can provide shit, well, that's a lot of I know that, Patrick, please understand. I know that for you or for me, it wouldn't be huge progress because we are at the end of the race. But he being at the beginning is a huge step. Don't don't take value from that. He started the engine and he started running. He started in the race of psychological maturity. He started the engine and started running with the car. Like he could, maybe he forgot to properly refuel the gas tank of the car. Maybe the tires aren't in perfect shape. They need more air or whatever. But he started the engine and he made some progress. That's the important thing. Doesn't matter. It's the first step of a long road. I know that for you, it's seen as very little progress. But you don't have to see it from your perspective. You have to see it from his. In that sense, in that sense, a relative comparison is useful because you need to see where he started and where he is. Okay. Imagine. No, remember how you were yourself before meeting me, or I would need to remember when I was in high school. While I didn't do those things, or you didn't do those things, we couldn't rationalize why we thought as we thought. We instinctively thought that all of that was wrong and etc. But we couldn't rationalize why. He's in that state. But at least he's perceiving that is wrong. He needs to first perceive that is wrong. Only then he will be. You want him to rationalize it. I understand you. But in order to rationalize it, the first step is to first realize. You should feel good about yourself, Patrick. Do you feel good about it? About the changes he's exhibiting? And well, with your dad, I won't interfere because I don't want to get into the education of other parents. I don't know what he would have told him. Listen to your father. I bet that to your parents in general, I bet they will help you much more than I will ever be able to. In that sense, always that I really don't like interfering in those things, anything at all, because I wouldn't let any other people interfere. In my case, with my own children. So, in that sense, in that one. I'm glad that you talk. That gives me happiness because rationalizing it makes us more intelligent. But no, there is your father has the authority in that sense, and Whatever he's telling you, he must have his very, very good reasons. Besides, you've always shown me that you are well educated, so pretty much nothing to do. Well, but the candy selling friend is absolutely amazing. Oh, my father speaks from experience. Yeah, that's why. Pretty much. In my case, my life has always been like very far away from all of that. It has been very idyllic in that sense. Like in my family, no one ever hit anyone. There were no abuses at all. We were always stable. In that sense, I know that the percentage of probability of that happening to most people, as I grew up, I had to realize that it wasn't common. Okay, so I had to develop empathy in that sense. I had to do a huge exercise to develop empathy, because it's difficult to have empathy when your life is idyllic. People think that it's because you are heartless. No, it's not that. You can be a kind person. You can be a kind person and still not feel empathy, finding it difficult to feel empathy. Yeah, because of this that I'm telling you. If your life has been way too idyllic, it's difficult to relate to something that you cannot imagine. I couldn't imagine that, for example, other kids went back home, and they had parents that hit each other or that treated them poorly. He tried the weed once, and my mother got mad because he tried that shit, and my father had to choose between weed or my mom. Good, good. A story of love saving the situation. Good, 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 good for your mother. Good for your mother. Good for your mother. Good for your mother, Patrick. And even better because you told me that your mother was the one that liked parties. So she tempered the parties, and your father tempered that in that sense. My parents did smoke briefly when they and in that sense. So you can see no one is perfect. But they left it immediately. Like 1 or 2 times, cigarette, and that's it. Like when they were... No, hang on. My mother never. No, it's true. My mother never smoked. Never smoked. Only my father a bit. Then nothing else. No alcohol, no drugs, no nothing. A cigarette, my father a bit. Nothing else. I can't believe we can change a candy dealer. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. We can change. Well, we can, in general, change a candy dealer's mind and start their engine towards the end goal. But we can't change my friend who has both parents. Well, unlike the candy dealer, who grew up in a Christian household, has good manners, has goals in the military with victory. Well. That's the thing. Well, those are speaking about the matter that you work with. Uh, maybe the Christian household and maybe Christianity did something wrong in our Western society. Better than than parents in most cases. Can happen. Don't be surprised. and with big dream. Well, don't be surprised, Patrick. Don't be surprised. Maybe Christianity does work in the end. And even if you have the best, if you have the parents and the other one doesn't, if you have an empty brain, if you reject the Western Christian values, it can happen. Don't be surprised. I know that it's an irony of life, but it can be. It can easily be, because maybe Western Christianity and this that I'm telling you works in that sense. So, well, I am deeply happy that your friend changed because of, well, I don't want to say my teachings, my my life experience on my own. Let's say that I talk to you every day, because I can imagine how many times you must have had to try to reason with him until you reached this point. I cannot imagine how many times you must have tried reasoning with him before you had some results. So, I congratulate you, Patrick. I congratulate you for properly applying, for absorbing and properly applying my knowledge. In that sense, it makes me feel proud. See, next time Pillow drops by the stream, I'll tell him that the monarchist changed some things in life. Just talking about his thoughts, pretty much. In that sense, yeah, pretty much. That ranged attacker is quite terrible. I cannot imagine how many. Well, you can. Okay, no, let's get to it. I can't believe how the candy dealer could change without parents, but instead being but instead growing up in a Christian household without parents has gone well. Because of discipline. It's because of fucking discipline. Because discipline is needed. It's because of that. Because Christianity works. Because discipline is needed. Because Roman discipline works. In that sense. It's because of that. It's because of that. It's because of that. Because in the end, Roman discipline works. Then we need the portion of Norse paganism to temper the feelings a bit when we get mad or those things. True, we need to learn that a bit from Protestantism and Norse paganism. True, we need to learn that a bit. The introverted part a bit, but never without extinguishing the passion, having perfect control over it, as you mentioned. But yes, initially, when a child is small, one could argue that in any case, see what they have in common, Protestantism and Catholicism, regarding that they both, when properly executed, provide discipline. Discipline is not a matter of left or right or Southern Europe and Northern Europe. In that sense, it's a universal value that goes against relativism. In that sense, that's why it's a great virtue. Okay, I want your perceptions. Okay, how would you discipline your child? When would you start it, and how? Discipline. Okay, discipline. I would do exactly what my parents did because it worked. Eh, I would sit down with him 2, 3 years and put a paper on the table and show him how to read the numbers, the colors, those things. Is what my mother did, pretty much. She like took me to a very expensive, a very expensive. It was like very well done, quite clean McDonald's, for example, that I liked. Very clean, very clean restaurant. In that sense, they were and they are still clean. That's something I always liked. Then we can talk about how healthy the food is and etc. That's another story. But but she would take me there, and as I ate the Happy Meal, I would in a paper on a paper, sorry, learn the alphabet, learn the numbers, learn the colors, those things. Learn the parts of the house, etc. That's for starting. Then, in terms of discipline, I do not believe in physical punishments. I do not believe in those things. I think that's an abuse. In accordance to our perfect civilized society, no, I don't believe in that. That only creates trauma. No, I would first want to ensure that the kid understands 100% that I love him. First of all, that I love him. And that's the challenge for a parent. Being efficient at conveying the feeling that you love them. Because this is the problem with most parents. Most parents love their children, but they are unable to properly express it in that sense. Yeah? That's the challenge. They do love them, but due to lack of superior education, one thing is feeling, and another one is expressing it with efficiency, with utmost efficiency. The challenge of parents is expressing love for their children with utmost efficiency. Efficiency in expressing, ensuring that the child understands perfectly, even when he's 2, 3 years old, that his parents love him. Okay, that is the challenge. He needs to understand that. Okay, that one is essential. That one is essential. Once you have that perfectly executed, that the child, you can see that I'm like this with everything in life. People like surgically calculating one thing after the other. I should be a war general. So after that, after ensuring that, in which the challenge is expressing with utmost efficiency, never take anything for granted. Everything needs to be explicitly repeated, like I do here on stream. Explicitly repeated. Never take things for granted. Never think that the child understands. No, the child does not understand when he's a little kid. He is an empty table, an empty slate that you have the responsibility of filling with proper tools to then, with critical thinking, deduce the rest of the aspects of life. But the basic ones, this is the mistake that a lot of people also do. Oh, I love these topics, as you can see, people. I love these topics. Because it is true that then you want the person to think on their own and not be stupid, to have critical thinking. Yes, of course. But that is once it reaches maturity, not when it's a little kid. When it's a little kid, you need to explicitly describe, first of all, the most important one, the founding aspect is that one. The kid needs to explicitly understand, to be explained, so he can then rationalize throughout years that his parents love him. That one is the founding one. Then on top of that, yo, how's it going, Pillow? How's it going, Pillow? How's it going? How's it going, Pillow? How are you doing with the with the cases over at it? I was explaining how to Patrick just asked me how to nurture a child, basically. Holy shit, you two are talking about kids. Yes, Pillow. Yes, Pillow. Indeed. I was explaining the process. By the way, Patrix, are you talking about hedonistic pleasure? No. I know you love that topic, but no. I was talking about kids. By the way, Pillow, Patrick just told me that because of all of my teachings and because of all of my knowledge, one friend of his who was a candy dealer, his candy dealing classmate is reforming, and he says that he will no longer do candy dealing because he wants to have kids. He should call you master. Well, it's for you that you said that we monarchists are extinct. Clearly, no. I'm doing I'm having a good impact on society. Even better, Lord Emperor. That one would be good, Lord Emperor, but no. No. Those titles are only attributed to the great King of England, to the original bloodline of the King of England and each respective monarchy of Europe, because they are the original founders of the bloodlines. The Lord Emperor. Lord Emperor. No, see, that's something that Plato called. Do you want to discover a man's true nature? Pillow, I bet you know this one. Give him power, said Plato. Give him power. If he becomes a psychopath, deluded with power, well, there you have his true nature. He's a fucking psychopath. That's why we shouldn't do those things. Only to the bloodline that created the country. I only respect Ibn Shalut. Well, you have to specify who it is. Patrick, finishing the answer as Pillow specifies who or what the fuck Ibn Salut is. And not in German, in English, not in German. That's a rookie mistake. Saying it in German, I don't know. So basically, to wrap up your reply for you, Patrick, after that founding one that I mentioned, then if you like, you can watch the stream again. After never take anything for granted with the kid. Never take anything for granted. Never. That's the mistake. Never take anything for granted. Explain everything explicitly and with utmost perfect description. Like I do here on stream. Everything explicitly. Nothing implicit. Explicitly. This, and this. No physical punishment, as I told you, nothing of that. When it doesn't work, give him time and keep explaining and show yourself with confidence in your knowledge. That is the key. Doing a tattoo kills you. Taking the weed kills you. Drinking alcohol kills you. Explicit. This is wrong, this is right, objectively. This is wrong, this is right. This is wrong, this is right, objectively. And like that, in a long and arduous process that requires a lot of temperance, never lose temperance. That's the challenge. Throughout years of continuously repeating this, will give you a perfect kid and not a, a monster in that sense. So the rookie mistake: Salman bin Abdullah. Is it I'm explaining. No, first explain who the fuck the person is. The who is that person? Because I honestly, we were having a pretty good conversation, you Miss Pillow, earlier about the opposite poles. No, no way. Who is it? Who is it? Mr. Gregors. It's once again Mr. Gregors. I will take it. I'll take it. I'll take a guess. It's Mr. Gregors again. Our friend Mr. Gregors. Once again. Brother, my internet is dying. No! Have a nice night, Eraser and chat. Okay, okay, Patrick. But hope the final answer is good. Otherwise, you told me that you rewatched the previous vote twice. You do that. You do that again. Some shitty parliamentary monarch. Well, but tell me who he is. Tell me who he is. Tell me who he is. Mr. Gregors again. The Hungarian. No, no, no! Don't say that, Bill. Don't insult people, Bill. Don't insult people. Google it. No, I'm not gonna Google Mr. Gregors for the third time. No, no, no. Forget it. Forget it. I assume that anyone you name is Mr. Gregors. And no, he's no, Bill. No, don't be like that. He's not doing that. He's has to go to sleep because he has obligations. You people can call me the Pole. No, no, it's not because of that. No, 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 because we are not savages, Pillow. We are not savages. That's the part that you need to understand. We are not savages. We are not savages like you are used to with the other shitty streams. You are used to savages. And we are not, because we are monarchists. We are, well, I am monarchist and they tolerate me, I guess. Yeah, right. We are not uncivilized. We are the epitome of refinement and culture. I was having a pretty good topic. I was having a pretty good chat in that sense. Pillow, listen to this one. Totally. Okay, so the guy. So Saudi Arabia is a monarchy formerly ruled by a king. The current king of Saudi Arabia is Salman, the guy that you mentioned, Salman al-Saud, who has held the throne since January 23rd. Okay. 2015. Okay. He is the head of the state and the head of the royal family that governs the kingdom. And why do you like him so much instead of our great Western European monarchies? And do not, Pillow, do not insult people again of the chat, please. Do not insult that they flee. No, they go to do their own things. They do whatever they want, and it's their perfect right. Don't, Pillow. Don't, because we have a civilized stream here. Because he's a hereditary. Well, but actually, okay, but what's the difference then between that and any Western European monarchy, Pillow? What's the difference between that and any Western? It's the basic. Bro, Patrick, if you're still here, yeah, be courteous, Pillow. Be courteous. Be courteous. Be courteous. I'm bowling my head down to your knees in apology. Okay, well, good, good, good. Well, good, good. Yeah, like that. Be courteous. Be courteous, Pillow. Forgive me for my attempt to jest. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, 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 Pooh. No problem, no problem. Don't do those things. Don't do those things because one thing, if I had not known, it was forbidden. Well, good. See, we are civilized. You think it's a jest, Pillow, but all of this is part of being civilized. So not, I should have read the sign. Well, no. Wait. In the rules below says that any form of illiteracy or insult or those aggressions is prohibited. No. The sign is there. No, the sign is perfectly there. No, the sign is there. Sign is there. But well, it's a matter of how we all express it. We're having a conversation. Hang on, Pillow. We're having a conversation with Patrick. We're having a conversation about the differences No fun allowed. Only cool kids here who can't feel any non-intellectual pleasure. We were having a conversation about Northern European culture versus Southern European culture. And I was making a point. With animes, for example, Pilu. Have you noticed? Oh god, yes, yes, yes. I was making that point as we were talking, as we were chatting about that. So I was telling him that for those who are born in Northern European culture, no, 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 Mustache Man, Acolyte versus that one. I don't know what it must be. No, no, no. It's that people who are born in Scandinavian countries like Sweden, Norway, Finland have to do a journey towards a balance in the center, just like we, Italians, Spaniards, everyone in Central Europe pretty much, also have to do a journey to a balance in the center. I was explaining. And my point was one phrase that Thomas Aquinas said that Patrick brought the other day, which is that the perfection of moral virtue is having control over passions rather than their extinction, okay? So I was mentioning to him that for us, Italians, Spaniards, and all of the descendants of passionate Rome, it is to have a bit of temperance in controlling the emotions. While for Scandinavian, Northern European countries, the challenge is admitting the existence of the emotion. And that's how we all in Europe find a perfect balance. Was Matt fat? And you also we all I think I never asked about how fat he was, please. What does it have to do with it? So we find that perfect and it's a fascinating phenomenon when we find that perfect balance. Why? Because if we look at Eastern countries like Japan, or etc., if we can see in anime, for example, that with, for example, think people, let's do it with simple, with direct examples. Think about, I want you to think about Goku and Vegeta, or Naruto and Sasuke, for example, or Yugi and Kaiba. Okay? Think about those. You can see that in Eastern societies, the two poles of absolute introversion, of denying the existence of emotion, and the other pole of the Roman Empire, of discipline with expression of emotion, they are portrayed separately. Okay? They are portrayed separately. But in Europe, this is what people don't value, and it's absolutely sad in Europe. They don't value that because of how we interacted all with each other, the southern ones, we can find temperance in controlling those passions that we feel, and Scandinavian countries and Northern European ones, more stoic ones, can find balance in acknowledging the existence of the emotion, of the passions, okay? With both of them finding perfect control, but accepting the existence and controlling its untamed expression, okay? So we can find that balance. There are society, value this, please, as Europeans, anyone watching this over as a YouTube bot, value this, that Eastern societies are unable to find such balance. They portray the both extremes separately. That's why they think yin and yang is perfection and all of that, because it can never be reached. But we can reach it in Europe because we've interacted a lot with each other. You also are Argentinian. It's a sin against God to be morbidly obese. He wasn't morbidly obese. That's why God killed Thomas with kidneys. God, mi pelo. What are you talking about? I have zero idea who that is. I don't believe in cultural determinism. No, yes, there's an influence, Pillow. There's an influence of these things. There's an influence. There's an influence. You can, Pillow. Would you say that people in Scandinavia are more expressive of their emotions than us Italians down here or Spaniards? No, no, no. On average, no. Well, if you wouldn't say that, there is a journey that all of us, that we all need to do to find that balance in the center. There is a journey that we all of us need to do that balance in the center, in the journey. But the key is that people don't value it. People don't value it in Europe nowadays, that we can find that balance. With us, born in Roman Catholic territories, learning to temper the emotion from Norse paganism, and Norse paganism learning from us to admit the existence of the emotions. Go to China, then we'll talk. No, well, in China they are unable to find the. They are fucking unable to find any balance in that shit, as the fucking dictatorship cannot give you room it cannot give you room to interpret anything about yourself or have time to do any introspective journey. I heard you can buy one in Venezuela. No. Can you find any woman in China? I heard you can buy one in Venezuela. Not for long, Pillow, fortunately. Not for long. Not for long. Not for long. The night is coming for the fucking dictators. The night. Remember that you are also the person who last year said that Donald Trump wouldn't bombard Venezuela, and I told you it would happen before the end of the year, and it happened on January 3rd. I missed by 3 days. Remember that? Remember that part of it. In Myanmar, then, I like my woman. Like your woman Asian. Why do you like your woman Asian, Pillow? Let's see. Let's get into the part that you like. Why would you like that? I don't like Asian women. I like our beautiful Western European American women. Why? Tits. Great response. Great response. Great response. Tits. Very. He's just joking, people. He's just joking. He's like that. He likes the gesture part of it, of a stream. In that sense, he likes that portion. I'm not joking. That's what you say every time. If you say the same every time, it means that you are joking, because implicitly, if you always say the same, it's a preconceived answer. It's a pre-thought answer. So it tends to be a joke. Besides. Hang on, this leech doesn't die here. There we go. Love isn't philosophical. It's randomness mixed with biology. Well, see, that's an answer that Norse paganism would tell me. That's why, Pillow, you need to make a bit of a journey to balance. You need to make a bit of a journey into the balance of Roman Christianity. You are on the opposite pole. That's the answer of Norse paganism. Norse paganism, yes, it's the answer of Norse paganism. Indeed it is. It's the relativism derived from Stoicism, Protestantism, and Norse paganism. Indeed. So, I don't say that you need to change yourself, huh? I say balance. balance. Is that the new relativism? No, 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 no. It's not the new one. It's a form that it took since long ago, not now. You think? No, I see the thing. You think that when I talk about relativism, I'm using a boogeyman, like Mr. Gregor's with everything that surrounded him. So like Belarus. No, I don't know what Belarus has to do in all of this. It has to do in all of this. I don't know, but I know that with you all roads lead to it. A lot. Okay, so they are relativists as well. The Norse paganism. Yes, yes, it is like that. It has positive things, the Norse paganism. It has positive things. Being able to keep the emotions under control, but the problem is that it extinguishes it, just like our problem in Christian kingdoms was that, well, we accepted the existence, we don't have that problem, we had the problem of unleashing it constantly. No, Pillow, are you ready to have a side horror they like to show off when it's called? I think that's the most brutal analogy. That's the most brutal analogy about it. Pillow, remember that you promised me that if the one viewer from Russia comes to the stream, you will not insult him. No, you will not. You will stop your insults because he has nothing to do with all of the Soviet Union, communist regimes, and the rest of the atrocities that we've seen. He's probably been a victim of it in that sense. Okay, so just don't insult the people. It's the only thing I ask you. Skullbearer. The part of comparing that to Belarus, it's quite accurate. It's quite accurate regarding it. It's quite accurate regarding it. Nonetheless, it's quite it's a side horror. Yeah, that is Belarus. Yeah, yeah. Is that? Yeah. I get what you are trying to say. Yes. It's not the only one, eh? It's not the only one, Pillow. I can name you Cuba here. I can name you Venezuela. How is calling the Belarusian LTV state that regularly sells their ass to Putin, or so just red sweet version. Oh yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, but it's not the only one, huh? It's not the only one, Pillow. Venezuela. Client state, yeah, pretty much. Protectorate, yeah, 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 yeah. Colony, colony. Well, here they say that about the United States with assault. That we right wingers want to turn the rest of South America into a colony of the U.S. I wouldn't ironically do so. Because of the incompetence and 17,000% inflation they've caused, precisely due to the Soviet Union influence. Belarus is already one. Okay. Yeah. I know. Here it's potentially what we would like with the U.S. colonizing us, but yeah, yeah. There in act. It has already happened. The fact there are worse. Yeah. I know that it's already like that. Compared to Cuba, no. Compared to Cuba, I don't think so. Compared to Cuba, it's 100% a puppet of. It's always been a puppet of the Soviet Union. And no. With Cuba, I take Trump back shots any day of the day. Oh, instead of a single bow to this kleptocratic. Well, yeah. 100. No, in my case, I would love it. I would love for the U.S. to take control of all of South America. I say it openly. I had enough. I've suffered 3 generations of shitty inflation, 17,000% last time, if it weren't for Malay. Yeah, like Without a doubt, I would 100%. I would give the keys of the country to the US, and I say it openly. Death to Argentina. No, it's not death to Argentina, because this is a misconception. This is a misconception. Bring back